Can we start now?
Yes, please. Thank you.
So, Jai Jinendra, everyone, and Jai Jinendra to Sarita Ji Jain. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your knowledge on Feng Shui and Vastu Shastra. Before I invite you, I would like to give a brief introduction about yourself. Sarita Ji has been practicing Feng Shui and is a practitioner, a consultant, and a teacher with over 23 years of experience. Her no-nonsense approach to Feng Shui and Vastu Shastra has earned her a huge client base, not just in India, but abroad as well. During her consultation, she uses a combination of Vastu Shastra and Chinese metaphysics like Feng Shui, Shan Kung Bazi, which is the Chinese astrology, Shan Kung Da Gua, all these remedies to help her clients. Her remarkable expertise and ability to gauge, forecast, and proactively handle situations has made her almost like a family doctor with all her clients. Not only this, she uses other methods like Mian Xiang, the art of face reading, purple white astrology, date selection, I Ching, tarot, Chi Men Dun Jia, the art of corporate warfare, and graphology, handwriting, as well as signature analysis. She keeps herself updated with newer sciences, and she also regularly writes articles on Feng Shui in leading newspapers and magazines like the Times of India, DNA, Mumbai Mirror, Good Homes, etc. And these are published in various cities all over India. She also has been invited by various associations like clubs, housing complexes to hold seminars and talks. And she has also been interviewed by NDTV channel, news channel. Not only this, she has been invited by MCHI CREDAI, government body of around 1,500 builders all over India, to hold workshop on Vastu Shastra and Feng Shui. She has also founded her Sarita Jain Institute of Metaphysics, and this institute whereby she holds workshops, and this institute helps her to help people to gain knowledge on Feng Shui, Vastu Shastra, and also to relieve any myths that people have. So her clients also include politicians, doctors, businessmen, corporate lawyers, designers, and so on. Also, many celebrity clients. And uh, in spite of having such a busy schedule, Sarita Ji also provides seva to many Jain sadhus and sadhvis, not just of other communities of all the Jain Sanghs, but also of Therapant as well. So without taking more of your time, Sarita Ji, I would like you to invite and share your knowledge on Feng Shui and Vastu Shastra, some knowledge basics and some myths surrounding them. So over to you, Sarita Ji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Hello, friends. It's been lovely to be able to meet you all over here on Zoom. Hoping to meet you all soon, live also. Thank you to Rashmi. Thank you to Samani, Niti Pragyaji and Malay Pragyaji for introducing me to Rashmi. And this is a very basic lecture because before getting to know what Feng Shui and Vastu is, we need to know what it is not. Because there's so much of information on the net nowadays that a person is confused as to what is right, what is wrong. One person asks you to put some objects, the other asks you not to put them. One asks you to put them in a particular direction, the other asks you not to put there. So what is the truth? So this lecture is basically to introduce you to some of these sciences and to be able to discern between the right and the wrong, between the myth and the fiction. So first of all, if you have any questions, you all can put it up on the chat. So I can, answer them in between or maybe after the lecture. Anybody wants to start in a particular way, or should I just speak in general? Please tell me. So first thing is the first myth, or what is Feng Shui? Feng Shui is a traditional Chinese science. Chinese because that is what the people know it as. So it's a Chinese science which involves understanding the effect of our environment, the external environment on our lives, on our family, on our relationships, wealth, etc. It is also a sister concern of, you can say, like Vastu. Vastu is Indianized, Chinese is Feng Shui. Feng Shui is Chinese. But if you really go into the depths of Feng Shui, you will realize that Feng Shui is based on the Pandarvika Yantra. So Pandarvika Yantra is basically a square box with 9 compartments in which the numbers from 1 to 9 are written very clearly. And anywhere you calculate it from, you add it up from any horizontally, vertically, diagonally, the answer will always be 15. So this is a very old yantra about which Mahapragyaji, Acharya Shri Mahapragyaji used to say that we have lots of yantras like this, but we have lost the basic concept or the knowledge behind the yantra and how to use it. But I have realized during 23 years of my experience, I have realized that this yantra is not a very new yantra. It's a very old yantra. It is also called the Nagpash yantra. If you heard about the 23rd Tirthankara Parshvanath Prabhu and his Adhishthan Devi Devta, Dharnendra and Padmavati, this is also called the Padmavati yantra. So can something so old suddenly become Chinese with its base such an old base in India? So now why and how did this become to be called Chinese? Approximately 3,000 years ago, this science suddenly got developed in China. That was a time when Indians and Chinese scholars used to come to and fro. If you heard the name Yun Sang was a very famous old Chinese scholar who often used to come to India, and there were many other scholars like this. So somewhere this science has gone from India, but it's been developed over there. India has faced a lot of attacks from the Mughals and all, and the Nalanda University, the basic hub of knowledge in India, has been burnt endlessly. And there were fires raging over months on end. So imagine the knowledge that we all lost. And this is one science which was carried over to China, and they actually developed it into a much finer science. So now, this is the basic of Feng Shui. You will not find it anywhere on the net because you need to have years of research on the basic principles of Feng Shui to be able to understand this concept. Secondly, there are two kinds of Feng Shui. One which has come up in the last 25 to 30 years, which is called the New Age Feng Shui, or the pop Feng Shui culture, wherein you have to put products all over your house and almost convert it into a Chinese museum. What I deal in is classical Feng Shui, the Feng Shui which has been developed over 3,000 years of extensive research and studies. Vastu is an equally great science. The only problem with both these sciences is the real knowledge behind these sciences have been lost somewhere in the new pop age culture where people want instant results. Anybody tells you something, we can make it happen overnight, is just trying to cheat you of your hard-earned money. Nothing happens overnight. You don't go down overnight and you don't come up overnight. So now the basic difference between Vastu and Feng Shui. For that, you have to understand that Feng Shui was not meant for living people, nor was Vastu meant for houses. It all started with temples, and Feng Shui started with yin. A yin Feng Shui deals with graves. So the Chinese believe that the direction in which a coffin is laid at a particular place, at a particular time, with water going in and out from a particular direction, helps the descendants of a family to earn good money. Now, since we don't deal in, at least the Jains and the Hindus don't deal in graves, so that part of Feng Shui does not apply to us. Now, over the years, slowly and slowly, Vastu and Feng Shui both started being adapted to be used for the living. The basic difference between Feng Shui and Vastu is the time element. Vastu does not have a time element. So something which was good for hundreds of years will be good even today. But in Feng Shui, there is a time element. So every year, every month will be different, will give you a different effect. Every house will give you a different effect. So basically what they're trying to say is if your houses are all in a line, in a straight line, so all houses facing north, yet each house, even if they're internally the same, each house will give you different results, will give different results to the residents of that house. So the first part is the external environment of each house will be slightly different. Different as in the road coming in from one side. Supposing the road is coming in from the north towards one house. So from the center of the other house, that same road will be to the northeast or to the northwest. So that one aspect makes all the difference in the world. Likewise, the residents of the building, they all have a birth date. So how do you look at Feng Shui? Vastu, most people know the north is good, the east is good, the southwest has to be the main bedroom. Basic principles which are very, very common and you can learn very fast. I'm not saying Vastu is an easy science to learn, but the basic principles can be understood pretty fast. The problem with Feng Shui is it starts from the environment. So something which is behind a particular house will not be behind the next house. So supposing there's an open space behind one house, that open space might not extend to the back of the second house. So that makes a difference. Secondly, so the first is the external environment, the roads coming in, the open spaces, the mountain shapes. Even mountains make a difference to the residents of a building. Now you can also say ki, in a urban city, we don't have mountains, you don't have water. Of course we do. When we say mountain, even an inch of height, 1 inch of height in the land is akin to a mountain in an urban city. So likewise, if any of you have been to Mumbai, I'm sure you must have heard the names Antop Hill, Malabar Hill, Nepean Sea Road, Walkeshwar is on a hill. So these are all highlands surrounded by water. So every small detail makes a difference. So first is the external environment, how it affects the property. Second is the property, the shape of the property, the building property, the height of the property, the number of floors in the property, the main entrance to the property, everything makes a difference. In the 8 directions surrounding a particular property, which direction has open land and which direction has another building right next to it will also affect you in a different way. For example, in Vastu, they say the north and the east should be open ground and also the northeast. And southwest should be a higher ground. Whereas in Feng Shui, they say the northeast should be higher ground and southwest should be lower ground. Now, this is a confusion which we don't understand. One science says something, the other says something else. So now how do we know what is right and what is wrong? So based on my years of experience in both these sciences, I have realized one thing. The principles of Vastu are same as the principles of Feng Shui, but only for a particular time period. So particular time period as in from 2044 onwards, we need to see highland or the land should be higher towards the southwest of your house in Feng Shui and in Vastu. But for now, the southwest needs to be lower. So because there is no concept of time in Vastu, there is this difference of the highland, lowland, etc. But over my years of experience, I have realized no science is wrong. Just the knowledge based on that science is we don't have the right knowledgeable people to impart the right knowledge to everybody. So right now, we will focus a little more on Feng Shui because I want to give you something immediate. And something immediate results, if we want to give, then we need to focus on the time element. So what is So at the end of this class, at the end of this lecture, I will also be giving you some activations. So some activations which you can do at the end of this lecture on a particular date and time uh, to activate noble people luck in your house. So noble people luck is basically uh, everybody needs a helping hand, right? So there are some people in your life who come at the right time in the right place to help you out of a particular situation. So if you are looking out for somebody like that, then there are particular activations. So now these activations are specifically to feng shui and not in Vastu because it's time related. Again, I'm coming to the time part, time related. So at the end of the lecture, I will also give you some tips on feng shui, which are time related and specific to this year, 2024. So first is your external environment, which affects your property. Then is the property, which affects the residents of the house. So in a house, even if there are 4 kids, they're sleeping on the same bed, in the same room, in the same, with their direction, with their head direction in the same particular direction, say south or east or whichever. Yet all of them face a different problem, a difficulty, or they enjoy good luck. All of them will have different values. So what is the reason for that? Now people may say that this is because their destiny charts are different. So yes, that is also right. But what about twins who are born at the same time with just 1 or 2 minutes apart? And their charts are also the same. So what happens now, before we understand all of this, we need to understand what are the basic principles of these sciences and how they will affect us. So there's this saying, it's called TND run. TN is heaven, heaven luck. So heaven luck is the part of our life. And TND run is the 3 types of luck that affect or govern our life. The first one, TN, we call it Bhagya, destiny, or it is the luck that we are born with. Now, this luck can also be called, this luck can be understood by the astrological charts that are formed at the time of our birth. So 33% of our lives are governed by the time of birth that we have, the date and time of birth that we have. And to understand that 33%, we can use different kinds of astrology, whether it's Western astrology, Chinese astrology, or Indian astrology. Now, you also have to understand the difference between Chinese astrology and the Indian astrology. I'm sorry if you want me to, diversify, if I'm diversifying too much. I just want you to know the basic principles of how these sciences affect us. Because if you don't know that, you will never be able to judge the right from the wrong. So West Indian astrology is based on the 9 planets, whereas Chinese astrology is based on the 5 elements. Elements as in wood, metal, fire, water, and earth. So there's a basic difference between these 2 sciences, but the answer, the end results are the same. So this 33%, which is governed by our destiny, can be very well understood by using one of these astrological consultations or these sciences. The second 1/3, which affects our life, is our mehnat, purusharth, karma, our actions, decisions, our education. The same person, 2 people born at the same time, but because they have grown up in a different environment. Say one is born at the Dhirubhai Ambani's house and one is born in the slums of Dharavi. Though they have the same luck chart, they are affected differently by the external environment around them. Their education is different. Because their education is different, their environment is different, their actions and decisions will also be different. So that is the second 1/3. A simple yes or a no will change, has the power to influence and change your entire life. So this yes and no is also dependent on how and what directions we use while sleeping. So now we come to the last 1/3. First is your destiny. Second is your karma, your mehnat, your actions, your decisions, how your education influences you. And the last 1/3 is how your property affects you. So as I said, 4 children sleeping on the same bed. They could be quadruplets, born at the same time within a span of say 5-10 minutes. But yet everybody's life will be different because they might have a different education. They might be sleeping in a different direction. So even 10 minutes, within 10 minutes, your chart can change. So TND run. TND run is basically 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Now, what is in your hands? Destiny is not in your hands. Your action and your feng shui are to some extent in your hands. You can change them. You can change the direction of your sleeping. You can change your decision. But you cannot change what is written in your destiny. So then what is the use of these sciences? And why should we use them if we can't change anything in our destiny? So basically, in your destiny, if you are meant to travel from one city to the other, or say from London to New York, there is a possibility. वो एक योग बनता है. योग means there is a possibility, or you have the power to travel from New York to London or vice versa. But the second 1/3 is your action or your decision to travel that path. So if you decide not to travel, even if you have the possibility in your chart, in your astrological chart, you will not travel. The third part is how Feng Shui or Vastu, they make the path easier for you. So as in if you're traveling by road, they tell you there's a highway in front, the roads are good, you can speed up. Or the roads are bad, please slow down. So this is how they help you move ahead in life. So even if a person is going through a bad period, astrologically, but if he takes the right actions at the right time, if he's in the right place, and if his feng shui or if his property is affecting him properly, he will not do as badly as he would otherwise have done if his destiny was bad, his feng shui was bad, and his actions were wrong. So this is how all these sciences are used to help you live a better life. Now, if we come to feng shui, there are 2 types of feng shui. One is classical feng shui, one is the new pop age feng shui. Classical feng shui, nowhere in the scriptures is it been mentioned that placing an object of any kind in your house is going to change your luck, ever. Now, when you say placing an object, I am talking about the man-made objects made in factories or constructed or manufactured by people in the name of feng shui. Now, somewhere over the years, good businessmen, what have they done? They have combined Chinese culture and these artifacts and a few principles of feng shui. And they have how do I put it? They have used it to further their business in life. So you keep a particular, you say you keep a turtle behind, a turtle in the north, it'll increase your, it'll enhance your career. Or you put a lion somewhere, you put a tiger somewhere, you put a 3-legged frog entering into your house, and it brings the wealth along with you. It does not. When you talk about energy, whether it's Reiki, whether it's Ki in Japanese, whether it's Chi in Chinese, whether it's Pranavayu in India, these are forms of universal energy. Universal energy is there for you to use. You cannot create it. But these are man-made objects. How can man-made objects, inanimate objects, non-living objects, have any kind of energy? So before you listen to anybody, even if it's me, you have to understand the basic principles. Keeping an element like water or fire can enhance the energies because these are natural energies. They are not man-made. You cannot create water. So you have to understand very clearly the concept. Energies cannot be created. No man-made objects can create. You can put all the Chinese, objects you want in your house. You can create it Chinese museum if you want to, but do not believe that it is going to affect your life, enhance your career, enhance your relationships. You have to work on your career and your relationships for it to work. Secondly, yes, you can use these sciences by way of using directions. If you have the right house with the right external environment, you are taking the right actions, and you're using good feng shui, as in good directions, good rooms for a particular year. Of course, you can enhance the good in your life and, lessen the effects of the negative in your life. Now, when we come to the time element for every year, the feng shui can be changed. The feng shui will be changed. So basically what I'm trying to say is the energies change every year. And with that, if you can follow the change, you can lessen the negative in your life to a great extent. Now, what do I mean by this? Because it's a very short lecture, I will give you some tips in between. In 2024, the west sector, the west direction is the worst direction to be in, to sleep in, to be in that room, or for your house to be facing east, sitting west. So what do you mean by that? Why is it like that? Basically, every year, the energies travel to a particular direction. Some energies are good, some are bad. So wherever the star 8 travels to will be a very good direction to use, will be a very good sector to use. Wherever the annual 5 travels to will be the worst sector of the house. So have you realized that sometimes 8 years have been very good for you? Everything has just fallen into place. But suddenly 1 year comes in where you have health issues, relationship issues, career issues, and you really don't understand. One after the other, the problems just keep piling on and you don't know what to do about it. So first, in 2024, you can just go and check whether you're using the west bedroom. So how do you check this? You go to the center of your house. Take a compass in your hands. Nowadays, every smartphone has a compass, inbuilt compass. So point towards your bedroom. Point your mobile phone towards, or your compass towards your bedroom from the center of your house, and see if your bedroom falls to the west of your bedroom, of your house. If it is that way and you are facing such problems, try and move out of that bedroom. That's it. You stay in that bedroom, you will have problems. You move out of that bedroom, your problems are gone or lessened to a great extent. Secondly, stand at the foot of your bed, pointing the compass towards your pillows, towards the side that you put your head in. If it is pointed towards west, try and change it to another direction. Flip yourself on the same bed, put your head in the east, and see if there's a difference in your problems. Have the problems lessened? Have they been nullified? Are you in a better position since before when you were sleeping in the west and now when you're not sleeping in the west? So this is just a small example of how directions can change even if they are good for you. Now, what do I mean by good for you? Every person in the world can be divided into 2 groups. So one is the east group, second is the west group. I think you all know the directions south, east, north, west, southeast, northwest, northeast, southeast. They are the 8 directions. So the 4 cardinals, east, west, north, and south. The 4 sub-cardinals, southeast, northeast, southwest, northwest. Now, out of these 8 directions, 4 directions will be good for the east group people and 4 directions will be good for the west group people. Maybe at a later date, if we have another lecture, then I will definitely give you your good directions and bad directions. And just by using your good and bad directions, you can see a great change in your lives. I have seen the most brilliant people, gold medalists from IIT, and they face problems all their lives. As in, they don't do well professionally at all, though they have brilliant minds. And Only a simple flip on the same bed in the opposite direction has changed their life forever. So why don't we use such simple sciences which do not advocate you buying any object from the market, which do not advocate any kind of constructive changes in your house? Just a small flip here, just a small change in the head direction, just a small change in your room, and it changes your life forever. So if you consult anybody, and if they straight away come and say, you have to break this down, you have to construct a new kitchen, you have to break, please don't listen to them. Tell them I will not change or break up anything in the house. Give me simple changes. And only when I see those changes, will I believe in you, will I trust in you, and will I follow your advice. If they can't give you a small change, if they can't give you a big difference with a small change like that, then I think you need to change your consultant. So any questions, Rashmi, here? Okay.
Sarita Ji, there was a question
Ji.
regarding crystals. I
Okay,
think,
what is the question?
I think it's how about crystals, as they are also natural. So would keeping crystals?
Yeah. So, okay, crystals have their own energy because they're earth related. It's a form of earth element. So yes, they do have, but nowhere in Feng Shui is it written that any crystals can change your life. Crystals will have an effect on your life, but it's a very minimal effect. I do not use any crystals, but what I use is the right directions at the right time and the right place. So if you believe in them, please go ahead, use them. There's no problem in using them, but it is just like an element. There are many other elements also which will affect your life. So whether you use them or not is your personal choice. It will not make a major difference. I've seen these people wearing, 10 types of bracelets, and yet they're going through the worst phases of their lives. So either they're not using the right crystals, or maybe it's not having that kind of effect that they want on them. So the science of crystals, the science of colors, many people want to know what colors should we use. So colors, basically every person subconsciously likes a particular color, he or she who is deficient in that. So please go ahead and use all the colors that you want in your house, but which you like, not because somebody else has advocated it to you. The only thing I would say is do not use red as a major color in your house. It's a very yang. Yang basically means very active color. So you will not be able to rest if you have that much of red around you. So I had this particular client who somebody advocated to hang red carpets on the walls because her career was not doing well, and she was in Bollywood, by the way. So she tried 2 years of hanging red carpets. Nothing happened. I removed all the red carpets, put a very simple color which she really liked, and basically changed her bedroom and her head directions. She was fine after that. She got 3 major movies. So all sciences will make a difference. But to what extent, you have to understand. Every science has its limitations. You cannot understand your destiny chart with the help of Feng Shui. Because Feng Shui is how your external environment affects you. It is not about how your birth time related astrological chart affects you. Same likewise, with your astrological chart, you cannot understand your house. You have to use everything in, what do you say, in a particular way to understand these sciences. Okay. So there are some questions. Can I start answering them?
Yes,
Rashmi,
please.
you
That
want
would
me
be
to?
great. Yes, please.
Okay. So the first question is, what is the best direction to sleep? And would it be head placed in east and foot towards west? A general direction which is good this year in 2024 is east. Now, east also has, there are 3 subsectors: east 1, east 2, east 3. So right now, I can't exactly tell you whether it's east 1, 2, or 3 for you. But yes, this year, please do not put your head in the west. That's a guarantee. Please change your head to the east if you can instead of the west. This is only for this year. What is the second best option if house doesn't allow that? Your house will allow because you're sleeping on the same bed. I'm not asking to change your bed direction. All you can do is just flip your head towards the east on the same bed. That should help you out of problems if you are facing any this year. Sitting plan in office do affect your work performance. Yes, like I said, every person has four good directions and four bad directions. So if you are using your good directions for sitting, sleeping, facing while doing work, then definitely it will affect your work performance. There's no doubt about that. I have never noticed somebody using their bad directions and getting good results, or vice versa.
So,
So
Sarita
Priya,
ji,
yeah,
here,
ji,
can
हाँ
you
जी.
answer then what direction should someone sit if it's their own workplace, खुद का
So
office,
Rashmi
or
ji,
if you're working somewhere?
because this is a very personalized science,
Okay.
this depends on your year of birth. So if
Okay.
we want, we can have a particular lecture only on this, and I can explain how to use your good and bad directions.
Okay.
And I'll make a card, small card, you can keep it handy, so you can check it for your members of your family also, whether they are using the right directions or not.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So, like if you give me an example of anybody's birth date, I can specifically tell you, okay, this year this is good for you.
Yeah. But that'll be just specific for one
Yeah,
person.
specific to that person
Yeah.
or the people born in that year.
Sure.
So, for example, somebody is born in, say, 1969,
Mm-hmm.
between 4th of Feb 1969 to 3rd of Feb 1970, because this is how the Chinese calendar works. So, anybody born between these two dates, for them, the northeast is the best direction they can put their head in. Second is west, third is northwest, and fourth is southwest. So these are the four directions that are very good. For this particular person, the north is extremely bad. Lifelong, the north will not be good for them. So if they are facing the north while working, while sleeping, they have their head in the south or the north, they will not do well. So if a person knows what directions are good or bad for him and how they can use it, they can make their life much easier. Okay. Priya says, south-facing house is not good to live. Priya, as per Vastu, yes, it is not good. As per Feng Shui, you can change a few things to make it good. So the first thing is there open space in front of the house? So is the south open? If it is open, it will give you negative results. So what you must do is you must ensure that your door is not only just, it should not be in the south sector also. So direction and sector are two different things. Direction is basically when you stand in the middle of your house, in the middle of your gate or your door or your main door, and you're looking outwards and you have a compass in your hands. Is it facing south? Secondly, is it in the southeast corner or the southwest corner? So the same, same line, same wall. You can have a door here, here, or here. So one will be the southeast corner, one will be the south, and the third will be the southwest corner. So to know what these sectors are, you stand in the center of your house, point the compass towards your main door, and see what direction if you're getting. If you're getting south sector along with south direction, then yes, it is not a good this. But if your door falls in the southeast or the southwest according to your compass from the center of your house, it's okay. There's no issue at all. This is how, you know one formula, but this is how you tweak the formulas. So when we speak of directions, do we take into account the actual residence that is building or the plot, garden, front lawn, etc.? So when we speak of directions, Kashish, imagine putting two eyes on the front wall of your house, whether it's a building or a house, whatever. And imagine what the building is seeing. What direction is it seeing? That is the direction that your building is facing. Sometimes, earlier we used to have the front door or the main door in front of the building. Nowadays, we have a building facing east, but the entry to the building will be through the north or from the northeast. It can be from any direction. In Bombay, we have entrances from the back side of the building also. But the building will yet face the same direction. If you put two eyes in front of the building, what direction is that building saying? So door is different, can be different, not necessarily. can be different from the facing of the building. So when I talk about the facing of the building, I'm talking about the building facing, the property facing, not the lawn, not the side gates, not the gate at the back side, none of that. But it is advised to have dark colors, red or earth color in southwest direction, Rachna. So, Rachna, how much of red or earth color? See, basically, if you know the feng shui principles, southwest is an earth sector. What produces earth is fire. Fire is red in color, earth is brown in color. You have to understand these elements in a different light, not just by putting colors over there. So that means if you have, say, you want to put red, wherever you put it, please put as little red as possible. Now, the northwest is a metal sector. Northwest is also the father's sector in the house. There you must have as less of red, if possible, to have no red at all. If possible, don't have a kitchen. Because we're talking about the elements. Color is just one aspect of the elements. Color is not everything. It just it reflects as an element. It is not the true element. When we are talking about elements, the true element is the fire or the earth. One Vikas ji, the 1% is just that one extra luck. Some people born same time, same house, same thing. Maybe something that you carry with you from your previous births. And based on principles set so far, we mean that 33% is destiny and 66% in our hands. Absolutely. I have realized that. So, see, I've been in this field for 23 years and I have so many clients. I also see Chinese astrology. So first thing that I do when I go to my clients is I look at the astrological charts. Unka time kaisa hai? How's their time right now? So if they are going to go through a clash or say an accident or whatever. So there was this client of mine who was meant to go through a major accident that year. Now, of course, I can't ask him to stop driving cars or whatever, but I told him this is the possibility. I changed his room. I changed his head direction. I asked him to buy a good car, which he did. He changed his car. He bought a Mercedes with, the best safety norms. He would never drive without with his seat belt. Now, see, in London, it's compulsory. In India, also, it's compulsory not to drive without a seat belt. But even now, today, drivers in India, half the time they don't wear their seat belts. So he took all the precautions necessary. Accident yet happened. But Hindi mein kahavat hai, talwar ka ghaav sui se nikla. So something that was meant to be, a very major accident, he got away with a scratch. His car was completely demolished, but he had the right insurance. So that accident happened, but he could lessen the intensity of the accident to a great extent. And that's why he did not face too many problems. Is there any remedy to increase concentration in the study table for the child is in the West? Could you tilt the child to sit maybe facing the southeast or southwest or the northwest on the same table? As in, see, I've just tilted my laptop and now I've tilted myself also to face another direction. I'm sitting in the same place. My table is yet west facing, but I'm facing a different direction. So this is how you can change your child's direction for his concentration. So southwest, southeast is good for the entrance. If it's south, then it's not good. What to do if it's south and open space in front? So Priya, if it is south and there is open space in front, so every star which comes there in that particular year will give you those kind of problems, especially if you're using that door very often. If you have a smaller gate, if you have a back gate, preferably use the back gate instead of using the front gate. So this year, you can say there's the annual star 7 in the south. Annual star will give you, 7 will give you vocal problems, speech problems, linguistic problems, something to do with your throat and this part of your throat. So you could have illnesses, based on these stars. But at least make sure that you're not putting your head in the south, especially if the south is an open space. then you can lessen the effects of these stars to a great extent. So Rajiv Jain, which direction toilet seat is good? Any and every direction. It does not depend on which direction you are facing or your seat toilet is facing. Every direction can give you constipation or dysentery or a normal lifestyle. This is a fallacy. With the good knowledge from these sciences, a lot of different kinds of knowledge have also come up, which people don't know. Like in the latest book on Feng Shui by a very renowned author in Feng Shui, she writes, keep as many, uh, frames of Lakshmi ji in your house and Ganesh ji in your house, and you will get immense wealth. Tell me one thing. Highest frames of gods I can see in the slums of Mumbai. My maid has at least 10 different gods frames. Is that going to help her? Is that the only thing that's going to help her? Or is it her karma? Is it her actions, her decisions to work hard that is going to get her money? So just directions for eating, sleep. You just are in the right bedroom, you're in the right house, your head is in the right direction. You can eat and sleep in any, eat and go in any direction, it doesn't matter. It's basically like charging your mobile. You charge your mobile at home and you take it to any place. As long as it's charged correctly, you can use it. But you charge the mobile wrongly, you cannot use it for a single minute. So think of yourself as charging yourself by sleeping in the right direction. Because that one thing is going to make, So that one action or decisions of you changing your sleeping direction is what is going to charge you correctly and help you make the right decisions. A simple yes or no can change your life. So if I want to make that simple yes or no, why will I not charge myself correctly and make the right decision? That's why the sleeping directions are so important. Why am I focusing only on sleeping directions? Because right now, I have not seen your houses. I don't know the areas around it, how the external directions are, external environment is affecting your houses. So I can't help you more. But sleeping directions, very soon, my website is down for some technical this for revamping. And I will be having a free software on my website, saritajain.com, very soon. It's called the Goa calculator. So you put in anybody's and as many birth dates as you want. And that software will give you for free your good and bad directions. So the minute you know your good and bad directions, you check from the foot of your bed, the direction that you're putting your head in. At least that is one thing that you can correct without calling for any consultant. In apartments, we'll have multiple flats in different directions. So we can't change the building direction. So if the specific resident flat to be considered for Vastu would still be based on the building, or how can that be amended? Because the building will face only one direction. The direction that you call the front elevation. Nowadays, we have different buildings which are similar from all sides, and it is difficult to tell which one is the front. So then we have other formulas, as in where is the main gate, which side is the energy being received from in the building. So different, but facing of the building will only be one, always one. Now, that same building, you say on the floor, you have 4 flats. Every floor, every flat main door will be in a different direction, in a different sector. So one flat could have a main door in the northeast, the other will have it in the southeast, the third will have it in the southwest, and fourth will have it in the northwest. So now, if you go deeper into the science, every floor also has a good luck or a bad luck time. So for example, if you're living in apartments, right now, the best floor to be on is 1, 4, 6, or 9. So 1, 4, 6, or 9, whichever floor has these numbers behind it. So first floor, 4th floor, 6th floor, 9th floor, or any floor which ends with these numbers. So 11th, 14th, 16th, 19th. 21st, 24th, 26th, 29th, and so on. So these are the floors that are good for you. Now, which is your entrance? So if you have a southeast entrance and you are on the 1st or 6th or 11th or 16th floor or any of these floors, it is an excellent house to be in. Absolutely no problem. It is good for the next from 2020 to say 2032 on till 2032. It's an excellent flat to be in just based on the entrance. So selecting the right house on the right floor with the right doors is the most important thing you can do. Sleeping directions is just one aspect because everybody can't just go around changing their houses every time. So this is one small aspect that we look into. South head placed while sleeping, is it good throughout or every year we need to check? Now, every direction, Rachna, will be bad once in 9 years. So if south is a good direction for you, you can continue sleeping in the south for at least 8 years. So the last time south was bad was in 2008. And you add 9 to it, so 2017. And now it will be bad again in, say, 2026. So at least in 2026, do not put your head in the south. If you continue sleeping for 8 years in a row in a particular direction, if the direction is good for you, it will yet give you different results. So 1 year you could be going through a lot of quarrels and fights. 1 year you could be traveling. 1 year your relationships are going to be very good. 1 year you will be having lots of people helping you a lot in your work and, whatever you want them to do. You have nobleman luck. So there are many aspects to these sciences. But safely, 2026, don't use the south. Right from 4th of Feb 2026 to 3rd of Feb 2027. That is the worst time to be using the south. Even if it is good for your property, bad for your property, open space makes it worst. So, accidents, catastrophes, these things happen when sudden fires, these things happen whenever there's an annual 5 involved in it. So annual 5 when you're sleeping or sitting of the building, facing of the building, you activating the annual 5 by construction. So that is why every year before you decide to construct anything, you should always choose a correct time and date and understand the sitting of your building, the facing of your building before you start work. Otherwise, you will see the minute you start constructing or changing things in your house, things either do very well, you do very well, or you do very badly. So there's a time and place for everything. According to the Vastu, they say that the toilet in the northeast is not good. How can this be connected without reconstruction? So Kashish, one thing you can do is, if you can, just stop using the toilet. It is meant for a particular purpose. And if you don't use it, you get out of it. But on second thoughts, I just want to remind you, when Vastu was there, when Feng Shui and Vastu originated, there was no modern plumbing. There was no toilets in the house. If you know, earlier, there were toilets constructed some time back and they were outside the house. They were not inside the house. So how much of the knowledge that is coming down, that is being filtered down to us, is right or wrong, we do not know. I have seen houses with the bedroom, with the toilets in the northeast, and they're doing absolutely fine. So this is one aspect. But trust me, even 70 years before, in small villages in Rajasthan, there were toilets outside the house where you had these people coming and clearing up all the dirt there once in a day. So then how would you explain 3,000 years back when these sciences originated, there were no toilets in the northeast? So is there any direction, Priya, main entrance door, which is not good to buy or live? Or every direction is good? Priya, every direction is definitely not good. There are some directions which are good and some are bad. But it all depends on whether there is open space or closed space outside. Like I said, if there's a south-facing door, you have a door in the southeast or the southwest. And if you have open space in these two directions, you will do brilliantly well. So there are ifs and buts for every direction. So it is difficult to explain to you right now on this platform. So for example, if I have a west facing door, and if it is in the southwest sector, it's okay. But if it's a west facing door in the northwest sector or in the west sector, there will be problems. So there is something called the direct spirit and something called the indirect spirit. Indirect spirit is where you need to see open space, water, entrances. And the indirect spirit for the till 2044 is the north, southeast, southwest, and east. So if your doors are in any of these sectors, you are safe. But you also need to see open space outside your doors for it to be safe. Do house numbers make the difference too? Prachi, yes, house numbers make a difference. But this will be understood with the help of numerology and not with the help of Feng Shui. Feng Shui doesn't deal in numbers, as in house numbers. Pratibha, I'm sorry, but I have a bad throat right now. Sorry about the volume. Rajiv, I am confused to know about my main door direction. Should I need to find main door direction from inside house or outside house? Rajiv ji, you have to stand in the center of your door as if you are about to leave your house and check your compass. The direction in front of you is what your door is facing. Right? If you want to know the sector, you go to the center of your house and point the compass towards your main door direction. That is the sector that your house door is in. You say in UK, every home has driveway front and garden backside. Now, how big is the garden? What do you have behind in the garden? Does the slope go upwards or downwards? Everything has, it's like peeling the layers of an onion. You know, you keep peeling and there's another layer there. So there are so many layers which go into this. This science is a very in-depth science. I've been studying it for the last 23 years and I'm yet studying. I yet travel abroad 3 to 4 times a year, meeting different masters in Malaysia, Hong Kong, Singapore, and to be on top of this. So this is not something to be explained over a 1 hour lecture. But right now, just to give you an understanding, do not be confused by what you read. I'll tell you my example. I stayed in a house at Warsaw. Warsaw is a locality in Mumbai, which is right on the seashore. I did not open my windows, south-facing windows, for 8 years in a row. And then one fine day, I thought enough is enough. I'm opening because there's such a lovely breeze coming from there. And trust me, nothing went wrong after that. And this and many more cases like this actually influenced me to learn these sciences. And after I learned them, I understood that there is a formula, but how you apply that formula, how you understand that formula is what makes all the difference in the world. So we just read, this is wrong, this is right, but it's a small sentence. It all depends on what context it is in and how you are taking it, how you are applying it. Sunita ji, southwest entry is very good. It was very good for the last 24 years. It's been very good. From 2008 to 2020, it was extremely good. And it's good even now, so don't worry. It is good till 2044. If you have south garden with built at the end of the garden as garden room, is it good? So south, if you have a garden, small space, and then if you have a room there, then yes, it is blocking the south in some way, so it's good. It's good. That is how, if you want to really close down your south, if you have too much open space, grow tall trees over there. Tall trees over there will block the energy, will make it less yang. So that's a way you can do that. Rajiv ji, I can share my contact information, but I'll leave that to Rashmi to do that.
Yes, Sarita ji, we can put it down on the chat box here. Shubham ji, can you do that? If that's okay.
Achha, before I go,
That's the
there's
email
some-
ID. Yeah.
there was something that I wanted to give you. Everybody needs to meet the right people at the right time. And as I said, there are activations. I said this at the beginning of the lecture. There are activations that you can do in your house with the right elements. I'm not asking you to put products there. All I'm asking you to light a candle or put some water over there, if you can. So this will enhance your nobleman luck. Basically, nobleman luck means you will meet the right people at the right time, or there will be somebody there. You will meet somebody who can be a mentor, who can help you out of a situation, or who can help you enhance your business or your career or your relationships, whatever. So would you be interested?
Yes,
Do we have
please.
time? Do we have 5 minutes? Shall I
think-
type it here, or shall I just read it out?
Yeah, you can read it out. And
Okay.
Shubham
So
ji,
the
can you
first,
type it?
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Thank you.
so the first date is 2nd of May, 2024, 11:30 p.m. till 1 p.m. Sorry, 1 a.m. May 3rd. So this is the, midnight block from 11:30 to 1 a.m. on 2nd of May. Northeast 1. So Northeast 1 in your house will be, if you catch a compass, stand in the center of your house, look towards the northeast, point the compass towards the northeast. So whatever degrees you get between 23 to 37, that area, that particular area between these 3 degrees, 2 degrees, 23 and 37 degrees northeast, you can light a small candle there. You can keep it lit for 2 weeks if you want. Just a we keep that akhand diya in our house. You can have a diya there, you can have a candle there. This is the first activation. After this, next day you wake up, you call somebody you want to help you out. After you do the activation. Second activation, same direction, same degrees, is on May 6th, 2024, 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 a.m. Okay, the minute you do this activation, in 10-15 minutes, sit there in the same sector, pointing towards that direction, and call up whomever you want to. The third activation, 7th of May, 2024, it's between 3:30 to 4:30. Now it's exactly opposite of Northeast 1. It is Southwest 1. This you can activate with the help of water. Water as in you can take a pail of water, you can take a bucket of water, you can take a huge, see, the bigger the house, the bigger the size of the water. Right? You just keep the water there for 2 weeks and remove it. Remember not to keep the water if it is your bedroom. Never have open water. Doesn't mean you can't keep a jug of water. Never have open water in your bedroom. The fourth activation is May 24, 2024, between 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. This time you activate Southeast 3. So Southeast 3 is basically between 143 to 157. So you stand in the center of your house, take a compass in your hands, keep turning yourself around till you say you come approximately to say 145 or 150 degrees. And exactly in that straight line where the line hits the last part of your house. So at that 150 degrees, you keep still water. Same based on your size of the house. You can keep, the bigger the pail, the bigger the results. So these are 4 activations that I've given you. 2 are with fire and 2 are with water. Did you get that, Shubhamji?
Yes, just one question. Are these
Yeah.
time or are these local time?
Local timings. So if
Okay.
I'm in India, I do them at my timing. You are in London, you do them at your time.
Okay, and just to ensure that we got it right. So the first
Yeah.
two were 23 to 37 degrees northwest.
Okay.
Then the third one was southwest 1.
Okay, I did not give you the southwest 1 degrees. Sorry. So southwest 1 is 292. So it's 293. No, sorry. Yeah, but just 1 minute. 293 till 307.
Okay,
Between 293 and 307. That is your southwest 1.
right.
Fire can be kept in the bedroom. Water cannot be kept in the bedroom.
Got it.
So if you can't do the water activations because it's a bedroom, then please choose another date.
Yeah, okay.
And third tip for 2024 specifically, you can keep a pail of water or a water fountain in the north sector of your house. And tomorrow would be a very good day to keep that pail of water. You can keep it for the whole year. It will enhance your investment and wealth prospects. So north begins from 337.5 and goes up to 22.5 degrees. If you can put it at 0 degrees, well and good. If you can't, then north actually starts from 337.5 till 22.5 degrees. So anywhere in between, you can keep a pail of water in this particular direction. Timing is, it's not a specific timing, but if you're asking for one, just give me 1 minute. I'll give it. Tomorrow is the 29th, right? You can keep it at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. or 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. tonight. Between 1 and 3 a.m. tonight or 9 p.m. tomorrow night. 9 to 11 p.m. Between 9 to 11 p.m. tomorrow night. You can change the water regularly. You can put a water pump inside. So before you remove the first water, if you want to change the water, ensure you have another pail of water there. Tomorrow's activation is for the full year. As I said, every year there are some good sectors, there are some bad sectors. So north is a very good sector for this year, 2024. And if you activate the north with moving water, so what you can do is take a pail of water, take a pump. This pump is normally there. You get it from that aquarium guy. So this is what they put in the house aquariums that you have. So just put a pump to ensure that there's movement of water and leave it on for the full year if you want. The other activations, you need still water. You don't need movement of water. And remember, only one water activation at one time in a house. So if you start that, then you stop this one.
So, Sarita ji, can we put those little fountains that we have, the one that...
See, little fountains are very little water. It is a water element which activates the energies.
Sure.
That's the reason I'm saying pale, but you can take bigger fountains if you want. I don't want you having just a small glass of water and, the lesser the amount of water, the lesser the energy is activated.
True.
the lesser the effect and results that you have.
That's correct.
So you have these big columns, you have for glass or acrylic, you get them for vases, and they're open on top. So you can just put in some color if you want, some small pebbles if you want, but large body of water is always better than a small pot.
Sure. Thank you so much, Sarita Ji, for your time. And I'm sure many of us have benefited, and we got to hear so much, even the background of Feng Shui and Vastu Shastra. And we hope we can connect again sometime soon and get some more knowledge. And thanks for all those activations that you shared with us today.
No, I just wanted everybody to go back with something and somebody, and you can share these activations with your friends, neighbors, family, whoever. This is applicable all over the world.
Yeah.
So it is not specific to London or India alone.
Yeah.
So I just hope, just remember, ever you feel frightened or you read something on the net and you don't know, don't believe it for what is written. You have to understand the context behind it.
Definitely.
Sorry, the water has to be in the house building, or can it be in the garden?
No, so you can have two. You can have one outside and one inside. So the outside water will actually pull in the energy, but you have to have one inside also for it to receive it at the right, sector. So if you have huge bungalows there, you can have one from the center of the house. If there's something specific, then please ask me for a particular degree. I can give that to you. These are general, these that I've given you.
Thank you, Sarita Ji. And we have shared your email ID as well and your contact number. So if anybody wants to get in touch personally, they can. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Rashmi. Thank you so much.
No, it's our privilege.